Hello, this is Roland. Today I want to continue talking about emotions. And what I'm trying to convey to you in these videos is something that most people have never heard before. And that is that there's a whole better, superior way of life than the one we know now, which is a life of pride, emotions, and emotion-driven thought. People spend their whole life reacting, feeling, thinking, and that's all they know. And because that's all they know, the only better way of life that they can imagine is the same thing, but just trying to replace bad feelings with good feelings, trying to replace pain with pleasure, trying to replace unhappiness with happiness. See, which I understand that. Nobody wants to be unhappy and full of pain and miserable, and nobody wants that. But there's an even better way. And that is, what's the old expression? If what you've been doing isn't working, then if you keep doing what you've been doing, it's not going to work either. Something like that. I can never remember it. It's very clever. But there has to be a different way of living and moving and having your being than the fallen emotional life. Now that's all we know is the fallen emotional life. That's what we're born with. And so it's perfectly natural that as little kids, we come into the world as little egos, and we have to grow through reacting to outside stimuli. That's how we grow. Okay? And we are emotional. As little kids, we tend to be emotional. We get excited and elated and unhappy, and when our team doesn't win, we cry, and when our team wins, we cheer, that sort of thing. Hello, this is Roland. Welcome. Today I want to talk to you about meditation, because I really come up with a good meditation. And it consists of two things, both of which you can learn within a minute. I'm thinking of calling it the 1-minute meditation, or a 1-minute meditation. And it consists of becoming aware of your hands, so that your hand or hands tingle a little bit. When you become aware of your hands, they tend to tingle. Let me see if I can describe it to you. As I'm sitting now in this nice little conference room at the library, it's very quiet, and I'm sitting in the present. In other words, I sense that I'm in the present. I'm not lost in thinking. I'm not lost in worrying about the future or planning for what I'm going to do. I'm not lost in the past, either with nostalgia or regret or thinking about what he said or what she said. I'm just sitting quietly in the present and appreciating the present. There's beauty in the present. There's calmness in the present. There's stillness in the present. And I become aware of my hands. As I'm sitting here right now, I'm becoming aware of my hands. I have both of my hands resting on my on my knees. Okay, my elbows are on the arms of the chair, and my hands are on my knees, and I've become aware of my hands. So when I do so, they tingle just a little bit. Just a gentle tingling. Or you could say they become a little bit warm, or a little bit of a warm glow. Or you could say that you feel them filled with life energy, with warmth, with life energy. And that's a very nice thing to do, practice that. Now, you improve upon that, which is pretty good already, by also learning to, when you're sitting quietly, like I am now in a chair here, close your eyes and look at the inside of your eyelids. In fact, I'm closing my eyes right now, and I'm looking at the inside of my eyelids. And what do I see? It's like a screen, and I see little pixels of light, little patterns of light, little delicate, a glow of light, little patterns. Okay, it's not completely black. There are little bits of light, little sparkles of light, very gently, very delicate on the screen. So I look at those. So those two things, sitting quietly, looking at the inside of my eyelids, and being aware of my hands at the same time, both of those at the same time, that anchors you in the present and not lost in thoughts. See, thoughts are always coming along. Thoughts are they're like temptation. In fact, they are temptation for the most part. Or they're remnants of temptation or memories of temptation. Okay? At times when you reacted, when you responded to the outside. And those thoughts, see, now either they're memories of the past or they're present moment, real time temptations. Basically, seeking to pull you away from the present. They would like to snatch you away, and the way they do that is they entertain you. They fascinate you. See, most people are endlessly fascinated with thought. But what happens is, when you're fascinated with thought, when you're thinking about what you're going to do or what you did or what she said or what happened, or fantasizing about romance or revenge, then you get pulled into it, as like when you're watching a movie, and you forget that you're sitting in the movie theater watching a movie, and you get pulled into the movie. See, you forget yourself. Well, we do that all the time. We do that with television, with music, with food, with everything. Now, the other thing is that you're no longer in control. See? So what you need to do is to practice snapping out. And it's very easy to do. Once you get the hang of sitting in the present and being aware of your hands and looking at the inside of your eyelids, then you start to learn how to be in the present and not lost in thoughts. Now, there are two important parts. The first part is you begin to flow from within. See, when you react to things on the outside, what she said, what he said, slow traffic, people's looks, what they say. See, when you start reacting with a little bit of irritation or with impatience or with anger or with hostility or with judgment, when you start reacting to people, well, or to things, then the the flow is from outside to inside. See, the outside is stimulates the emotions, and then the emotions activate thought. So you see, it starts on the outside and moves in. That's why what's on the outside gets on the inside. But what you want to do is to reverse that, so that it becomes the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, and if you'll permit me to use a little bit of religious language here, your soul is supposed to be in charge. And when your soul, see, lives and walks in the light, see, the light is all around us. It's a spiritual light. It's from God. That's where we're supposed to live and walk in light. Even as the plant lives beneath the earthly sun, and the plant receives light and warmth from the sun and grows and prospers in the sun and produces beautiful flowers and fruit in the sun, so we are supposed to live in the spiritual sun, see, in God's light. And then the soul then extends that. Then the soul then, see, is master of the body, but a good master, a kind master, a loving master. And the soul extends light to the body. So, life. The soul gives life to the body. But the way things are reversed now, so the flow is outward. So good flows from the soul through the body and then out into the world. Good flows out, and the bad doesn't come in. But when everything is reversed, then the outside flows in. So what you need is to put up a force field. You know, like in Star Trek, remember how the Starship Enterprise had a force field they could put up? Well, that's what this good energy does. It creates kind of a force field. Keeps the outside on the outside, doesn't get in. See? Well, that's the way you have to live and move and have your being, from within. Then you're self-impelled, self-motivated. See? And the warmth that your body needs and the life that it needs come from within, from the inner light, through the soul. Okay? So that's what you're actually doing when you learn to sit quietly. Become aware of your hands, and you can feel that awareness in the light. You can feel that warmth, that light. See, that life fulfillment. See, touch your body. See, that's what you need. And once you learn how to do this, then the rest of your life will be spent just noticing how you get lost in thoughts and snapping out. You'll see how improper thoughts seek to snatch you away, seek to grab your attention, pull you away. You'll simply see that that's what's happening, and then it won't happen because your soul observes it. You're just observing. Then you learn how to observe what's happening in your mind. Now you don't even know what's happening in your mind because you're lost in it. You get pulled into it. You need to be able to stand back and observe. That's what the meditation really helps you to do. So you learn how to live and move and have your being properly. See, the way the good Lord intended. Before you fell. Before you were pulled off base, before you were emotionalized, before you were upset, which happened a long time ago when you were a little child. Now you must learn to refine your inner ground of good and flow from it. See? And then and learn just then to observe. Just go through life as an observer, observing. And what's in your mind you can also observe. See? So, I'm going to make an end to this little video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you try the meditation.